अब देखो मेरा हेलो
Mr. Professor Mandir.
हाय नमस्कार 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 all set?
Yes, I think you are good to go. Sheetal, can you confirm?
And I will check the screen. Let me see. I'll just check the screen. So you can see the screen?
Yes, yes.
Yes, good. So I will unshare it now.
We are live. We can start.
Namaste and a very good afternoon to all our participants today. I'm Mandira Popat and I'd like to welcome you all to our ICANN conversation for the day, where we'll discuss Annapurna, the Food for Knowledge program, and culture and innovation-based micro-enterprises with the tirelessly brilliant Professor Gupta is the knowledge partner of ICANN, helping drive impact at the grassroots and providing help to the impoverished in the South. Before we begin our conversation today, I would like to tell our participants a little bit more about ICANN. ICANN, that is India COVID Action Network, is an initiative to help underprivileged communities that have been hardest hit due to COVID-19. This is a unique movement to combat the pandemic through an online platform that those who are in need of help and those who can provide it. Our COVID warriors work from home, activating their on-ground community networks and mobilizing resource providers in order to connect the two and ensure that the most vulnerable sections of society can also sustain themselves through these difficult times. COVID warriors are spread across different states of India and steadily growing day by day. I'm glad to share our COVID bulletin today. Till date, the total needs fulfilled so far stand at 3,025 points of contact. We have 3,892 COVID warriors on board with 3,105 NGO partners, and till date, COVID has impacted a total of 106,036 lives. We will just take a short break into our COVID anthem.
मुश्किल है अनपढ़ी ये कैसी कठिन घड़ी, सहमी सहमी जिंदगी, बिखरी हुई बंदगी, मानवता है पुकार रही, दिखाएं हम दरिया दिली। I can, you can, we can, India can, I can, you can, we can, India can। हम सब मिल जाएं तो, मिलकर हाथ बटाएं तो, टल जाएगी ये घड़ी, झूमेगी फिर से खुशी। आशा टूटे नहीं, हौसला रूठे नहीं, साथ ये छूटे नहीं, मंजिल दूर नहीं, मानवता है पुकार रही, दिखाएं हम दरिया दिली। I can, you can, we can, India can, I can, you can, we can, India can।
1 minute. 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 1 I can, you can, we can, India can. So please do go on to our website, Cohen Action Network, and definitely register as a volunteer, a NGO partner, or even just an organization who is willing to make a difference during these troubling times. We will be happy to collaborate with you and make an impact. I'd now like to thank our speaker for the day, the renowned Professor Anil Gupta, for joining us. Thank you, sir. So Professor Anil Gupta truly requires no introduction, but I would just like to take this opportunity to acknowledge some of his biggest contributions towards the betterment of innumerable lives and towards nation building. Professor Gupta is a grassroots innovator par excellence. He's the founder of the Honeybee Network and ran Gyan and Shrishti. He retired as a full-time professor of the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad in 2017, where he served for about 36 years. He's currently a visiting faculty at IIMA now. He held an executive vice chair at the National Innovation Foundation, where he's a member of its governing board now. He's also fellow of the World Academy of Art and Science. He was awarded the Padma Shri in the year 2004 for his contributions to management education. He's seen as a pioneer in the field of grassroots innovation, in which his contribution includes documenting people's knowledge with the help of teams of volunteers spread across India. He helps grassroots innovators and communities build on their knowledge systems by providing help in filling patents, promoting scientific validation of these innovations by involving government scientific institutes and private individuals and bodies who facilitate tie-ups with entrepreneurs and industrial groups. Through the Honeybee Network, he has aimed to demonstrate that the ideas and knowledge of economically poor people are important for the sustainable progress of developing countries. Professor Anil Gupta wrote Grassroots Innovations, Minds on the Margin Are Not Marginal Minds in 2016. This book is a compilation of his empirical research carried out through his very popular Shodh Yatras, with an ingenious solutions and innovations crafted by common individuals targeting local problems faced by local communities. Thank you so much, Professor, for joining us today.
Thank you. And let's discuss the possibilities that we have. I will share the screen so that you can see some of the thoughts that I have. And is it all right now? Hello?
Yes, Professor.
Yeah. Okay. So, this is a very critical time for our country. Millions of people are migrating from one region to another. Some are stuck in different places. And in this critical time, a lot of civil society organizations have got together to support them. उनके खाने की व्यवस्था कर रहे हैं, उनके लिए भोजन की व्यवस्था कर रहे हैं और उनको ये भी विश्वास दिला रहे हैं कि धीरे धीरे जैसे स्थिति सुधरेगी वो अपने गांव जा पाएंगे। अभी तो काफ़ी लोगों ने जाना शुरू भी कर दिया। तो हम लोगों ने सोचा, एक विचार मन में आया जिसके साथ हमने एक प्रयास किया। मैं आपको उसके परिणाम भी आज दिखाऊंगा। ज्ञान संस्था के एक किशोर भाई हैं जिन्होंने बहुत ही 700 लोगों को, अभी 500 से लेकर 700, किसी दिन 700, किसी दिन 600, किसी दिन 500 लोगों को खाना खिला रहे हैं। और अन्नपूर्णा की एक हमने कल्पना की। अन्नपूर्णा का अर्थ था कि जब हम भोजन खिलाएंगे लोगों को, when we feed people, the food that we are feeding is a feast for learning from that. So purpose of today's talk is to really encourage all of you who in different parts of the country are engaged with this mission of ICANN, and you are trying to provide relief and food to thousands and hundreds of thousands of people. We need to do something along with that by which we could share a copybook with each one of them. And I will describe the process that we can follow. But before that, let me explain a little bit about the Honeybee Network itself. What does Honeybee Network do? And why did we decide to partner with your group to consider the possibility of giving voice, visibility, and velocity to the grassroots innovators? Voice, visibility, and velocity to the grassroots ideas, grassroots innovations. The poor people who are receiving food from us are poor, economically poor, sure, but they are not poor in their mind. Mind on the margin are not marginal mind, I have always insisted. जो गरीब लोग हैं वो आर्थिक रूप से गरीब हैं लेकिन दिमाग से गरीब नहीं है. दिमाग तो उनके पास भी हमारे से अच्छा ही होगा, कम नहीं होगा. So how do we give visibility? How do we articulate their ideas? How do we document them? So I'm going to show you some examples which Kishore and his team, under the guidance of Dr. Anamika De, CEO of GYAN, have collected from the people with whom they are working for last more than a month. And I can assure you that each one of you will realize after a while that what we gave them was a material good. खाना तो बाजार में आप खरीद सकते हैं. You can buy food in the market. Can you buy knowledge in the market? No. So the knowledge that people have, they are sharing with us, is precious, is unique sometimes. Sometimes it will be generalized. Maybe you have heard of it before, but you also know that these people also have that knowledge. And if we add value to that, it can generate enterprises. So while COVID-19 pandemic will be over, the task of continuing our engagement with the people will continue. And as we will describe to you a little later, GYAN is committed, Honeybee Network is committed through GYAN to fund those enterprises in UP and Bihar in particular, but also in some other states, based on the knowledge of economically poor, knowledge-rich people. Economically poor, knowledge-rich people. So remember now, you can be a part of value chain, which will begin with an accidental connection that we are forging today with these people whom we are offering food. So let us take some examples. Now, there is an example here in Hindi, and I'll explain that if you mix a little bit of camphor in coconut oil, Aman Chauhan from Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh, Varanasi happens to be the constituency of our Prime Minister. Aman Chauhan from Varanasi has given an idea that if you mix a little bit of camphor in coconut oil, you can remove the dandruff from your hair. Now, please understand, this has to be done in the night before you sleep, so that in the night the oil will remain. All the fancy shampoos that you buy, costly and chemical-based shampoo that you buy for the same problem, you won't have to do it. It is affordable, it is democratic, anybody can make it, it is accessible, and it is available. Affordability, accessibility, and availability. All the three are vital elements of a democratic knowledge system that we are trying to forge through Honeybee Network. And all of you can be part of this knowledge system. All of you, I hope and pray that will be part of the system, because you will empower people, not for day, not for the week that you are feeding them, but for life by adding value to their knowledge. If you make these, not everybody will be able to find camphor and coconut oil and then mix it in the night and all of that. You can make a small industry, small enterprise in local economy and sell it to people. अपनी शीशी लाओ, उसमें भर के दे देंगे, कोई पैकेजिंग की जरूरत नहीं है. 10 रुपए में ले लीजिए, 15 रुपए में ले लीजिए, आपके सिर की रुसी खत्म हो जाएगी. So Deepak says from Uttar Pradesh, if you have boils in your mouth, just chew, just suck, keep the jaggery in your mouth and take it slowly. Swallow it, don't swallow it immediately, just keep it in your mouth. If you have children who are urinating in the night, बच्चे कई बार incontinence की problem होती है, they can't retain their urine, give them sesame and jaggery, a mix of sesame and jaggery, and these laddus, these balls, they can eat and then they will be very happy. Kalonji, the water of kalonji herb, if you give it to the children, then the worms in the stomach will be cleaned up. Many times women have pain during the menstruation cycle. They need to take 2 or 3 lemon and their juice will reduce the pain. Now this is very affordable. Doctors will not prescribe this because it doesn't cost money. But who said that economy can only run through currencies, financial currencies? What about currency of love? Currency of caring, currency of sharing? Are these currencies not valid currencies? Who amongst us who's on this program today can claim that they have never used any knowledge without paying for it? ऐसा कोई है जो ये दावा करे कि हमने जिंदगी में कभी भी ऐसी कोई ज्ञान का इस्तेमाल नहीं किया जिसके बदले में हमने पैसा नहीं दिया था। हम सब ने एक दूसरे से सीख कर अपनी जिंदगी आगे तो बढ़ाई है। And yet when it comes to building institutions, creating networks, we hesitate in building upon ideas where sharing is important, where caring is important. So there are many such examples. If you take fenugreek, and there are ladies who are not able to lactate properly. बच्चों उनका दूध नहीं उतरता है, कई बार छोटा बच्चा पैदा हुआ, अभी जन्म दिया उन्होंने, उसके बाद दूध नहीं उतरेगा तो बच्चे को कैसे खाना मिलेगा, कैसे पिएगा दूध वो। तो उसके लिए in onion with little bit of oil or ghee, you roast fenugreek seeds or grains with onion and let that be eaten by the lactating mother, and it will help in getting the milk flow better. These are solutions for survival. These are survival innovations, survival knowledge. Of course, in some places it is traditional knowledge, but for other places it could be innovation, those people who don't know about it. So what I'm trying to say, it is possible.
Right.
Food for knowledge is possible, and we can make it possible. And we have done it. And I want to just tell you that all of these are, just a little bit of pomegranate juice one spoon juice in the morning and evening can help in diarrhea and vomiting. So there are many such examples. I will not go into more, but what I'm trying to say is that you need to appreciate that these kind of examples can help our communities, can help people with whom we are interacting through this network that you have created so rapidly and so widely. And it is possible for these people then to be able to benefit themselves and help their neighbors, help their community benefit. So cross-pollination of ideas. If you see the Honeybee Network logo, you will realize that a nameless, faceless person comes in contact with the network, gets an identity. This is what makes it possible for cross-pollination of ideas to take place. And my appeal to all of the friends who are on this program is to pay attention to this suggestion, that it is a time which destiny has brought us. A very unfortunate pandemic has brought us in touch with people who we will never have met. हम कभी नहीं मिलते उनसे शायद, लेकिन आज मिल रहे हैं, तो क्यों ना हम अपनी शोध यात्रा शुरू करें? Why don't we start our journey of learning, and learn from people who are knowledge rich and economically poor. We walk in different parts of the country. Some of you who are interested can join us. We had to postpone our 46th walk in Ramnathpuram, which was to start from 21st May, 17th May, because of the lockdown. So we will announce the new dates very soon. We will do that in a green zone so that we are compatible with the policies of the government. We will choose areas very carefully so that even in those regions we'll maintain distance, but at the same time there will be no other fear. So we have been walking in different parts of the country, in different regimes and different regions. And what we're trying to say is that we must provide dignity and raise this self-respect among the people in the shelters, in the places where migrant laborers are living at the moment with great constraint. Today, you must have seen on television, some of them are walking for 1,000 kilometers, 1,500, 700 kilometers in this summer with little food that they have, with little money that they have, and they have to buy the ticket of themselves. In Maharashtra, they have to get medical certificate on that by themselves. I mean, there are a lot of constraints under which these workers are moving from a place where they went for work to a place which they call as their home. And there are obviously difficulties at this time, and I appreciate the effort of everybody who is trying to help them. Be it ICANN, Khusro, Kamal, all the people, our Kishore, all the people who are working day and night and trying to provide support to these people they deserve our appreciation. So the food given is only a small fee for learning from them, and let us see how shall we do this? How shall we communicate this? How shall we convey our message? I have made a small video, I can share that with you later, where we have a conversation recorded between me and the people in one of the shelters. And on the spot, our friends started sharing knowledge. बोले सर सामने आपको बबूल का पेड़ दिख रहा है? मैंने कहा हाँ दिख रहा है। सर ये बबूल के पेड़ के पत्ते को सुखा लीजिए और मंडो आता है उसका ग्रेन को पाउडर कर लीजिए और दोनों का पाउडर जो है खा लीजिए आप। सो पाइल्स की प्रॉब्लम जो है आपको खत्म हो जाएगी in about fortnight or a month. Doesn't cost too much, but because it is open access, because it is affordable, because it is democratically accessible, because it doesn't require expenditure of too much money, we may not respect it. अभी क्या है कि जब तक 4-5 रंग की गोली नहीं दे डॉक्टर, 2-4 इंजेक्शन नहीं लगाए तो समझता है डॉक्टर अच्छा नहीं है। अगर डॉक्टर बोले गर्म पानी से गुलारी कर लीजिए नमक के या चाय के पानी से, आपके गले की खराश ठीक हो जाएगी, खांसी कम हो जाएगी, स्टीम ले लीजिए, तो आप समझते डॉक्टर आपको सीरियसली नहीं ले रहा। डॉक्टर इज नॉट टेकिंग यू सीरियसली। Now that's not true. That's not true. The cost of a prescription or a advice has nothing to do with its effectiveness. So we should communicate to the groups with whom we are working as to what is our purpose. We want to learn from a struggle, knowledge of keeping soil, water, crop, animal, human beings healthy, and the traditional knowledge of solving various problems, including storage of water, seed, grain, clothes, etc., can be shared. There may be songs which convey the conservation of nature. There may be stories which convey conservation of nature. There's my favorite story of a Chola king. There were 5 kings during Chola period in Chola Empire in Tamil Nadu. Each one of them is famous for one of the stories. So once one of the kings was passing through the jungle. He felt thirsty. So there was a spring nearby. He went to get little water, drink bottled water. After a while, when he came back, he found a tendril of a creeper on the ground had wound around the spoke of the wheel of the chariot. The creeper's name was Nilothpal. Now the king was in a dilemma. If I move the chariot, the creeper will get uprooted, and if I leave the chariot there, then I have to walk back. You know what he decided? He decided to walk back like many migrants who are doing today. He decided to walk back to his palace, and the story taught us that in this country, it is possible to conceive of an idea where creepers, even a creeper has a right to life, right to exist. This seems incredible, but this parable tells us that we have had discussions, we have had debates on this. Where did I get this story from? And why don't we need such stories? How will our children get inspired to conserve nature? They need more such stories. So imagine that you have documented these stories from the migrants, and these stories have been uploaded on a portal. Honeybee Network will be very happy to share these stories on its own website. Jan will do that, create a separate page for that. And then if somebody downloads these stories, they will pay maybe $1, maybe 10 cents, which will go to the account of the person whose story it was. If you want more stories to hear, pay more for getting these stories recorded from the same. Under the National Rural Employment Program, elderly people are not supposed to be given work because of their vulnerability to COVID. So what will they do? They will not earn anything. Why don't we make them document their cultural knowledge? That is work. Who says that work is only menial, not mental? Change the definition of the work. For you and I who are on this program, work means mental work. But for the laborer who is supposed to have hands, legs, and mouth, but no head, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? They have a head and they have a heart. And they connect them through these stories, through parables, those who are performing artists, then we can record that, their stories, and then share them. So what I'm trying to tell you is that it is possible to do that. We can even ask them to give their ideas, innovative ideas for different kinds of solutions. And these ideas can be converted into enterprise. They may have traditional food recipes. They may have an idea of making a machine for plowing or for interculture or for drip irrigation. Many of these workers have worked in advanced industry, in textile, in manufacturing, in construction. They have a lot of skills. When they go home and you engage them in breaking stones and digging earth, that will be tragedy. So I will appeal to all of you to keep in touch with these workers, make a database, a simple spreadsheet, share it with them. I will show you this spreadsheet just now. And then try if we can document these practices in this spreadsheet so that people can learn from each other, and we will make it open. Not a problem. People should learn from each other. So it is possible. It is possible that we can contribute the knowledge. I'm sorry, I didn't share the screen at that time. I should do that. So it is possible to document the knowledge of the migrants, their solutions, their traditional knowledge, their preventive health knowledge, and we can also document their ideas for health, ideas for agriculture, ideas for machinery, idea for construction. 1 million schools will have water harvesting structures on their roof, underground tank, and these workers, they make the building in which I and you live. They make these buildings, so they have skills. Why can't we use their skills for making 100,000 or maybe 10 million underground water storage tanks in every single school, in every single primary health center, in every single such place? So then it is possible. And as I said, wherever they have new ideas, please switch off your mic. Wherever they have new ideas, they should be able to propose these ideas for enterprise, and we will fund these. Honeybee Network through GYAN and Trustee will fund these ideas. Small amounts will invest. With SIDBI, Small Scale Industries Development Bank of India, and GYAN have partnered under a scheme that we had conceived in 2003, originally in 1997, but then it became a reality in 2003 with NIF, and now with GYAN, Micro Venture Innovation Fund. We will invest small amount in particularly UP and Bihar, but also we can consider in other regions. So you can set up an enterprise being there wherever you are. You don't have to come to Ahmedabad. You don't have to fill a long application. Your idea is enough. We'll take the risk. If you succeed, pay it back. If you fail, we absorb. But a genuine effort of experimenting with an idea, it could be a herbal product, it could be machinery, it could be agricultural process, it could be agricultural machinery, whatever, which solve the problem and let people improve their life. So we should try that this notebook that we give should have some examples that we have talked about. You can send it to us at anilji@gyan.org or gyan@gyan.org. So it is possible for you all to share. You can also share with, put it up at the ICANN website. We have no problem with that. It can be a shared database. Idea is that we will like to do a prior art search on these ideas, find out which of them have a commercial utility. And we don't have to necessarily make them in large quantities at one place. They can be decentralized production. 5 people can set up enterprise on the same idea, no problem, because they will sell in their neighborhood. Small markets, small supply chains are the way to go in future. And we should be willing to work with those supply chains. Decentralized economic development, which Gandhiji talked about, time has come for that today. Because we have seen what happens when supply chains get disrupted. We become vulnerable, we become fragile. our economy comes to a very standstill. So God forbid, to avoid this in future, we must build smaller loops of supply chains, and it will be possible. So I will stop here. There are many ideas that we can discuss, but as I said, accessibility, affordability, availability, these are the three mantras that you will keep in mind when we look at knowledge and convert into different kinds of enterprises. So let me have some questions from people and then we can continue our discussion.
So thank you so much, Professor, for sharing your ideas. A lot of takeaways from us from that. One of the key questions with respect to what you just said is what are the kind of challenges that you face in transitioning the mindset of a worker from manual labor to enterprise?
Yes, this is an important question, and I will show you, I'll let you listen. So I'll present to you how I talk to the people, and just give me a minute. And then you will see that it is not very difficult, because I asked them, did they not realize that despite all the conditions, they need to feel positive about something? So just explained what I told them, and what I told them was the following. If you are facing a problem in your life, what do? You don't have much money, you don't have access to the fancy hospitals, you don't have too much money to buy things that many of us can easily afford. Wouldn't you try some solutions by asking your neighbor, my grandparents, uncle, aunt, somebody? And they said, yes, of course we do that. That's a very natural thing to do for us. How else can we survive? We survive collectively. Give me an example. Anamika, board phone दीजिए please. Phone दीजिए.
हमारा अनुभव यही है कि जैसे आप बताएं कि जैसे पुरावा के बारे में जानकारी जैसे हो जाए तो उसको बारे में जैसे कि बताओ, कुछ गीत आता है तो भी बताओ, भजन आता है तो भी बताओ। तो दवा के बारे में तो ये है कि जैसे कट गया तो किसी का पेड़ होता है, किसी का पेड़, हाँ पेड़ होता है, वो पेड़ के जैसी बोखला छड़ा करके और रस गाड़ करके उसको डाल दीजिए, वो जख्म नहीं उसका छाल का जिसका, हाँ छाल का, उसको जो है थोड़ा कुछ दीजिए और रस करिए, रस निकलेगा उस पर चढ़ाइए और पटा हुआ जैसे जख्म बिल्कुल ही ठीक हो जाए। क्या बात है। गिजिन का काम आता है? गिजिन ऐसा पेड़ होता है। कैसा फूल होता है? उसमें फूल जैसे नहीं होता है, इससे चौड़ा चौड़ा जैसे जो पत्ता है ना, वो चौड़ा चौड़ा जैसा पत्ता होता है जैसा, हाँ वो पेड़ होता है। अच्छा, दूसरा चीज है ये बबूल का पेड़ है। ये जितना पुराना पेड़ जैसे है, इसका पत्ता और मड़ुआ जानते हैं? मड़ुआ जानते हैं। मड़ुआ के ही आटा दोनों को ही बराबर जैसे मिलाकर, जिसका बवासीर का ही बीमारी हो, बवासीर का ये पीछे से वो ब्लड के जैसे ही 1 हफ्ता लेटरिन करने के बाद जैसे सफाई सुथरा होने के बाद में 1 चम्मच 1 हफ्ता खिलाइए उसको, सब दिन के लिए ही ठीक हो जाएगा। मड़ुआ का आटा, बबुला का पत्ता, हाँ, और मड़ुआ का ही आटा, हाँ वो दोनों ही बराबर होना चाहिए। ठीक। और 1 चम्मच ही 1 हफ्ता जैसे खिलाइए उसका बीमारी। मड़ुआ का आटा लाल रंग का होता है ना? हाँ हाँ हाँ, ठीक। और छोटा छोटा दाना, वो दोनों ही बराबर होना चाहिए, और दोनों को एक एकदम बराबर कर दे। हाँ इसका पत्ता बबूल का, ओ हारा तोड़िया उसको सुखा कर नहीं मिलाए, सुखा कर मिलाना,
पाउडर बना के मतलब।
हाँ पाउडर बना कर
हाँ।
वो बीमारी सब दिन के लिए ही है। सीधे दिन करना है ये
एक हफ्ते का।
सुबह शाम खाली पेट सुबह तो सुबह खाली, तो खाली पेट, हाँ खाली पेट एक बार।
ये श्रीवास्तव जी बोल रहे थे अभी,
किसी को दिक्कत है
जिन्होंने ये अनुभव बांटा, सामने खड़े पेड़ के नीचे छाया में खड़े थे, बात कर रहे थे। पहले तो लोग हेजिटेट कर रहे थे, ऐसा नहीं कि एकदम तैयार हो गए। वो पहले उनको लग रहा था कि हमारे पास क्या ज्ञान है, आप लोग पढ़े लिखे लोग हैं, आपके पास है, यू आर नॉलेजेबल, you have studied so much, so you have all the knowledge. You know, general self-effacive nature of our people, common people. How can we give you anything? You know everything. You know, that kind of feeling. And yet, when we persisted, provoked them, challenged them, they came out. And then when he shared, then there was another person, Deepak, who shared, then third person shared. And now we have notebooks where people have written and started sharing. So now they feel that they have given us something. So they are not anymore obliged to us. बोले नहीं सर हम पे एहसान है। मैंने कहा गलत बात, एहसान आपका हम पर है। आप बाजार में जाओ ना, जितना खाने का खर्चा हमारा हुआ, we spend about 10,000 rupees a day. Now with 10,000, can I buy something of this kind in the marketplace? I can't. Where will I get this unique knowledge? For piles, for 1 week, he's saying mandua, the flower of mandua, and the leaves dried and powdered of acacia. And then you can solve your problem. People spend huge money, go for surgery and do whatever, and they still suffer. Many of the old people suffer, other people suffer. And here is this ordinary person from Bihar is giving his suggestion, and we are not valuing it because he's giving it so ordinarily, because he's generous. So the idea is that those who are generous can be neglected. Those who are greedy should be respected. Is this the word that you want to live in? No, that's not the word. So please understand that this is possible. You saw just now an example. It can be done. I will be happy to share a minute-long message which people can play to the workers so that they feel motivated. And with this message, I'm confident, more or less, that the hesitation that workers have, they will be able to overcome, and they will be able to share their knowledge with us. Please remember, with every food, with every mask that you give to the people, please share a notebook. Please share a few papers stapled with a pen if possible, because many of them may not have a pen. And ask them to write whatever they wish and make a sketch of an idea that they have, which they want to make. And we will make it possible for them to fabricate the solutions. Next question. Any other question that anybody will have?
Thank you so much, Professor, for protecting and bringing this treasure trove of knowledge to all of us common Indians. Thank you so much to the Honeybee Network as well. Professor, the next question that has come in is a common question asked by Ankit Dadda and Rohan Mahajan. They are asking about what is the impact of already existing MSMEs and startups due to COVID-19. How much time and money is needed for them to recover? And do you foresee a lot of shutdowns of these micro enterprises in the coming future and mass scale unemployment in them?
Very good, relevant question. And Ardhendu, I will come to your question once again. The question that he's asking about difficulties, I will share that in a minute. But please understand, first of all, that our working class is under a lot of constraint, lot of stress. Nobody else is paying the price for lockouts and for all the other prevention that we have to do for keeping the elites safe. Who brought the problem? And let us be very honest. People who traveled from abroad brought the disease, right? Who is paying the price? People who are walking 1,700 kilometers, 2,000 kilometers, they are paying the price. So let us understand that there is a disproportionate distribution of the cost of the pandemic among the rich and the poor. The poor are paying much more price. Having said that, and it is true that many enterprises will close down, many of the people will not get demand, what do? I will suggest 3 or 4 things that we as consumer must do. First, did we buy, when the lockout is over, let us say on 17th, I think the lockout is going to be over this time. assume that there is no further extension. In any case, there are 100 and odd districts which are already green, and there are some orange districts. So their economic activity has already begun. So 2/3 of India, more or less, is already getting activated. Let us spread this consciousness that we must ask, what did I buy in the last 1 week made by hand? That means craftsmen and craftwomen. Second, what did I buy which was made by a small entrepreneur? Instead of only buying the big brands, did I buy something from my neighborhood? So if you live in Hazaribagh or if you live in Purulia, did I buy anything made in Purulia? I'm an elite. I may be staying there for years. I may be in a company. I may be in a steel plant or somewhere. But all my supplies come from Bombay or Delhi or Calcutta, and all my demand goes there. So then what is the link between me being there and my purchasing power and the local supply? So buying locally, buying things made in local region must be one of the mantras that you must follow. And this is some culture that celebrates. So in Bengal, in Assam, they give you a gamcha, woven scarf, hand woven. That is considered a mark of affection and respect. Everybody, when you go there, they offer you that. In Northeast, this is a custom. They don't give you a mill cloth. They give you a hand woven cloth because it has affection. It is an economy of affection. So let us accept that when we give gifts, I go for lectures to a lot of places and they give me mementos. And what do I do with these mementos? They're wasteful. And that too sometimes made of acrylic or some such sheet, absolutely meaningless. So buy local, buy things made by the small enterprises, buy things made by the craftsmen and women and give them as a gift. Second thing, many of you have owned a house. I would have shown you. Anamika, do you have the photograph of your Pithora painting on your phone? Pithora painting photo. So many times in our office, Anamika, she's the CEO of Gyan, and she will show you, she got it done without taking anybody's permission, because that's what brings out the best thing. When you do things because you believe in them rather than because you're authorized to do them, your fortitude comes out. What was the idea? On a wall of your office or your shopping complex or your factory, get it painted by a folk artist and give the mobile number of that artist. So when you see this, you will notice that there's a mobile number of the artist and there is a Pithora painting. And mind you, this Pithora painting tradition in Panchmahal and Godhra district of Gujarat is a very unique tradition. Tribal people who have nothing in their home, no durables, if somebody falls sick, they pray to the Lord and say, my Lord, please heal this person. And the person, when it gets healed, I will get one of my wall in the hut painted by an artist. Can you imagine the prayer to get a wall painted with narratives of local tradition? Which culture does it? How many of us have done it? So if you want to give employment to the folk artists, if you want this tradition to survive, then you must get one wall painted. And Mandira, I'm sure you will do that yourself. And I'm sure you encourage your friend to do that. Because if you don't do that, my point was, I was talking to your friends and Sumitra and others. I said, look, I will be very happy to talk to this group because after all, you are all young people, you are the future. But something should be, something concrete happen. Some results should come after an hour or two of our discussion. Something should change. That is why I don't like the term catalytic agent. You know why?
Why is that?
Why should not be a catalytic agent? Why should you not be a catalytic agent? Tell me.
Because you should probably be implementing change yourself.
Because if you cannot bring about change if you don't change yourself. Whereas catalytic agent doesn't undergo a change. It speeds up the reaction. You can imagine, I never get tired of repeating this. Language shapes the habit of thought. When we say war on COVID, you become ruthless. When you say, let us tame the COVID, it requires different persuasion, different skills. So we don't want to be a catalytic agent because catalytic agent expects that change will come about without him or her changing at all. And no, we don't. We will change ourselves and we'll bring about a change. Gandhi always said that, be the change that you want to bring about in the world. And it was not just a rhetoric. It was not just polemic statement. I believe in it. So I would strongly urge that we should our purchasing behavior should change. Our consumption style should change. Our engagement style should change. Many of us are high net worth individuals. For us to invest a lakh or two in an enterprise is not a big deal. So those of you who can afford, spend maybe 25,000, maybe 50,000 rupees in an enterprise which you believe in. If it succeeds, the money will come back. If it doesn't, okay, you tried. Each one of us can become participant in the angel networks and start investing small amounts, 25,000, 10,000. It is up to you what you feel like sparing. Amount that you can forget about, let us put it this way. I mean, today the elite will take a dinner and cost about 5,000 rupees in any hotel. So if you just don't take 2 dinners, you have invested in one micro enterprise. That's what I'm saying. The cost is just 2 dinners. 2 dinners at home with pav bhaji will be saving enough money to invest in a micro enterprise. Please consider that. Please consider that. I will try then to connect these enterprises with the markets around the world. I can do that. That's what Honeybee Network will do. G to G, grassroots to global. Our model is very different. The globalization meant large corporations selling things to poor. We are saying, no. Small people selling things to big corporations, big markets around the world. So we will take the things to the global market. I want to take up one question on chat. Ardhendu has asked this question. The problem that face, the first problem that came out is modesty. How do we do that? Second was self-deprecation attitude that my knowledge is worth nothing, because they have been treated like that. They have been treated like dirt. आपने देखा पुलिस वाले कैसे मारते हैं उनको?
They've been.
गाड़ी में बैठा हो. If somebody is sitting in a car and he's violating the lockout, have you ever seen a driver of a car or owner of a car doing up and sitting up and down? No. आप उसको कसरत करवाइए ना जमीन के सड़क पर खड़ा करके. उसको तो नहीं करते. उसको तो आप हाथ जोड़ के रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं. मजदूर को आप डंडे मार देते हैं. So this is this attitude that there are 2 different rules in this country for rich and the poor, and this is not acceptable. So let us try to get the labor class, the working class, overcome their self-deprecating feeling that my knowledge is of worth nothing. Sir, मेरी knowledge से आपको क्या फायदा होगा? Sir, आप लोग तो जानते हैं. We have to demonstrate, we have to demystify the fact, and when they come out with something useful, as you just heard, we should acknowledge it. भाई मेरे को तो नहीं मालूम थी बात, सच्ची बात है. मुझे नहीं मालूम था कि मंडुआ का आटा और बबूल के पत्ते का पाउडर मिलाकर मेरे फादर को पाइल्स है. He is 94. He is suffering. And I would like to try this with my father. But मुझे नहीं मालूम था ना. So I'm going to try this. And if it saves, God bless that worker. श्रीवास्तव जिसने बताया मेरे को ये बात. तो अध्यक्ष जी मैं ये कहूँगा कि ये संभव तो है. We will be able to overcome these problems if we are genuine. And please, I have sent you a file of documentation we did from Anantnag. When Sabzarwani had recorded it. We have Kishore documentation. We have some other, Vivekanand is there from Seva on the line. He will also send you. And we must show our ignorance. I mean, educated people may not know all the answers. Very true. I mean, if somebody asks me, there is an example I gave these workers. That helps. I said in my house, there was a whitewashing going on. And a worker cut his hand. So he went out. And after some time, he came back. And there was no bleeding taking place. So I said, what did you do? Sir, I put the spider's web, मकड़ी का जाला, उसको लगाया, foreign blood coagulate हो गया. After the talk, please go to the web and search blood coagulation, spider's web. You will find published research studies which show that it is true. He was doing something on the edge. In our lab, in fact, we have a cell line from which we extract so that we don't have to kill spiders every time. We have made a cell line of the gland. So they have knowledge which is in many cases has been validated by scientific tools. But they don't know that because we never shared our research with them. So my suggestion is that let us develop a reciprocal relationship. Knowledge economy has some ethics. And one of the ethics is that whatever we do with that knowledge, we will share them. If we develop, supposing you develop a product for piles, then give a royalty to them. Mr. Srivastava should receive, and his committee should receive some royalty from that income that you will make from that product. Because that fellow cannot set up a big enterprise, but you can. So it is not necessary that every enterprise will be set up by them only. Sometimes we will set up an enterprise and they will be stakeholder in that enterprise. Yes, please.
So, Professor, another question that has come in is execution related. You have someone who has experience in the startups in handloom and handicraft sector. Their question is that with the price we get in the market for these goods and the wage realization of the artists, both are meager. So how do we keep ourselves sustainable, especially in a post-COVID environment?
So last part, can you repeat the point?
So because the wage realization for the artist is also minimal and the price in the market that they get is also challenging. So in a post-COVID environment, how do we make ourselves sustainable and how do we survive?
I think we will have to go from economy of wasteful consumption to economy of affectionate consumption. Yeah, there are three circles I often talk about: learning, loving, and living. And I want to be at the intersection of the three circles. I cannot live without love, I cannot live without learning, and there is no life without both of them. So we need to change our priorities, and we need to change what we care about and what we respect. If we value their knowledge, we're willing to pay a little more. Today morning, I was talking to somebody and they said, sir, when you sit in a taxi, you give tip. When you sit in a rickshaw or auto rickshaw, you haggle about the cost. सब्जी वाले से आप सौदा करते हैं, मॉल में जाते हैं तो आप जितना वो मांगते हैं उतना देके आ जाते हैं, है ना? So we get overawed by the big market, and when it comes to the trickle down at the margin, we become very restrictive, we become very miserly, we become very stingy. So I understand this question, and I think the only answer to that question would be those of us who can afford should decide to use these as gifts, as exchange items, as items that we can proudly claim that we use in our life, day-to-day life. So instead of showing the, many young people have, earlier they used to have, I don't know whether they now have, on a shirt, in my time, the label used to be inside the collar, here. Now the labels are outside. You see the point? On your jean, on your t-shirt, labels are outside. So you want to get respect from the label. My God, you are so poor, so insignificant, so meaningless, that your respect comes from the label that you wear and not from your innate what, your ideas, your knowledge. What kind of world we are living in? Change it. Stop buying labels. Stop buying labels. Buy things that you can be proud of. And I'm a great believer in khadi. And I believe that all of us can buy khadi and handloom and hand woven and hand spun, whatever, to the extent that you can go, handmade. So please, let us create new lifestyle statements. And these statements will begin from Mandira people like you, who belong to a different level, different orbit in the society. When you do something, other people say, oh, even she does it. She could afford any label. But if she's not flaunting the label, but flaunting what she bought from the local market, then maybe that's the right thing to do. That's how styles change. That is how trends get built up. That's how the fashions start. Let us create new fashions. After COVID, let us create new fashions, new statements about consumption, frugal consumption. I'm not talking about wasteful consumption. I'm a frugal person. I believe in frugality. But frugality can be beautiful. There's no trade-off between aesthetics and affection. I can have full affection for the people with whom I want to work and yet get it done beautifully. There's a question here, Taslima has asked this question about how do we create online market for craftsmen and women, and how do we protect their rights, particularly design. Now, many textile companies have used the tribal motifs, tribal patterns on saris, on drapes, on curtains without giving any compensation. And some of you might have relatives, friends, and acquaintances who own the textile mill, right? Tell them that if you borrow a design from somebody, just as you pay your other designers, pay them. Let there be so long as the design is in the market, a flow of income should go to the community from which the design was taken. Why not? Why can't we have a reciprocal economy where we will benefit from the knowledge and culture and art of the people, and people will benefit from the market that we create for our goods? So there is a need for that, Taslima. We will have to work towards this. This needs to happen. We should have every day some about it. And conversations make things convenient. Conversations make us compromise. Conversations make us understand each other's viewpoint. The democracy rests on conversation, not coercion. So let us converse about it. Slowly it will happen. Online markets are certainly possible, but authenticity is very important. Yesterday I got a mail from France, a professor's wife there, not France, sorry, from Johannesburg, South Africa. Mary said, look, I want to buy hand-rolled agarbattis made by the communities. She didn't want machine-made, hand-rolled. Because she has consumers in South Africa who will appreciate that. Fine, why not? Why not? So I think we should brand it properly. We should write stories of the way products are made, the context in which they are made. Put photographs of the village, of the process around your product. People don't understand product, they understand stories. So I think we will have to contextualize the product, and that will give the new meanings.
Professor, somehow I've actually always observed, being a management student myself, that we as Indians have this treasure trove of knowledge that we've failed to brand over decades. We are unable to build stories around these products, and in return, so much of our knowledge is now being appropriated without our artisans, local people gaining benefits from them. So do you see this changing in the immediate future, or what is your take on that?
Have you heard about Body Shop?
Sorry, Professor?
Have you heard about the brand Body Shop?
Yes.
You've heard? A lady, Anita Roddick, from Sussex, went to Amazon, collected the knowledge and the product raw material from Amazon tribal people, and the costliest real estate, that is, she had shops at airports, international airport, that is the costliest real estate. So product made by the poorest people, remotest people from Amazon forest were selling at European airports and elsewhere in cities. That is what value chain is all about. That is branding. She has sold that company now. She no more runs that company, somebody else runs it. But the point I'm trying to home is that it is possible. It is possible. And we need to talk more and more about it. You know, now the coconut water comes in bottle.
Packaged, yes.
Correct? Somebody did research. Coconut Development Board contributed to that process in Kerala and other places. A new healthy drink came in the market, which we did not have the last 70 years. We need this kind of research. We need this kind of partnership between scholars, between marketing people, between production people, between design people. And Jan and Sarti are keen. You know, Honeybee Network, I would show you, let me show you the triangle that we have, which will convey this point clear. Let me just show you this triangle. Just let us see this triangle. Where is the share the screen? Yes. Do you see the triangle?
Yes.
This triangle, the Gyan's number details are written at the bottom. Gyan at gyan.org, G-I-A-N at gyan.org. The triangle has three sides: innovation, investment, enterprise. Which kind of enterprise? Economic enterprise, social enterprise, cultural enterprise, ecological enterprise. Which kind of innovation? Technological innovation, institutional innovation, educational innovation. Which kind of investment? Intellectual investment, material investment, financial investment. I can invest my money, I can invest my time, my resources, my machine tool, my design technologies. I can invest my knowledge. I can help donate or contribute my time as a designer. I can contribute my design as a branding person. So there can be design angels, there can be IP angels, intellectual property angels, and they can contribute. And I can assure you, let me tell you through this program, this window, to everybody who is online, that Gyan is provide you support from intellectual property attorneys at just the nominal cost. Our cost of filing patent is 15,000 rupees. I had created a network which I can mobilize for all of you, where no IP attorney will charge fees from me. Never, not once. Even in US, my friend Tom Turano, whose company TST has been taken over by KLNG. Please switch off your mic, please switch off your mic, please switch off your mic. KLNG, Kellen Gates, Bill Gates' father's company. He files patent for us in US without any charge. From Jharkhand, a tribal, Rajiv might be online somewhere. And that patent was filed in US by Tom Turano at no cost to us. So it is possible. We can make this triangle possible. That's the value that we bring on the table. What Honeybee Network brings is this value, this triangle. And this triangle will be possible. Let me show you one more thing. How can we add dignity to everybody's life? Just see this. Just see this. Take half a minute. If you are a wheelchair bound person and you have to go to 100 kilometers, can you go? Unless you have a special car? You can't. Look at what Jignesh Bhai has done. This is one of the incubated technology by Gyan. Now he's autonomous. On this 3-wheel carrier, he can go anywhere. Sitting on the chair, he's driving it. He's after his business. This is what is possible. Now, why should Jignesh market be only in Ahmedabad?
Right.
If you go to YouTube, Freedom on Wheels is his YouTube channel. Freedom on Wheels. And I'm very happy to advertise for him because he deserves it. So I'm saying that all the knowledge that you collect from the people whom we are working with, we will help in valorizing it. You can do it, but if you need our help, we'll provide that help. We'll mentor them. We'll link them with designers, with the IP lawyers, wherever possible. And together develop the enterprises. We will invest in the enterprises financially also, wherever possible, within our limited means, and invite people to contribute to that process. Next, please.
Thank you so much, Professor. And thank you for sharing the Golden Triangle concept with us. It helps a lot of us also structurally understand the challenges and how we can address each issue that we might face. Professor, before moving on to closing remarks, if you have a couple of minutes, I would like to ask one more last question.
Go ahead.
So there's a question which says that currently we see a lot of people and organizations coming together to take better care of the weaker sections of society and collaborate. But in a post-coronavirus situation, do you think humanity will learn some positive lessons from this pandemic? And what changes do you think the world has?
Question is not whether, question is how. That means we must learn. That is without doubt. What and how? We will learn to value small things. We will learn to value things made by hand, because many of us have done that in our families. We will learn to value little, frugality. Many times you didn't have access. Even if you had tons of money, you couldn't buy things. You manage with what you have. There's a charm by itself of managing life frugally. Sometimes you share it with your neighbor. She had one milk bag and I had, so I said, look, other milk, maybe chai pee lunga. You know, so we should learn to share. And that is a new thing for many people who have been otherwise very insular, who, I mean, let me accept that in many places, people don't visit their neighbors forever. I mean, I'm guilty of that. We don't, even multi-story building, you don't know the name of 4 people who live upstairs, downstairs, left and right, isn't it? We know everybody far removed, but we don't know immediate neighborhood. But today, in this situation, we had to. Anything which required cooperation. So I would say that there is a lesson about nature. Nature healed itself. It is possible that we will deny that, but I would request everybody should grow some plants. Everybody should understand that nature conservation is not government job. All of us have to contribute. And I hope voluntarily, if nothing else, people will follow lockout at least once in a week or once in a fortnight. Stay put, just stay put. Give rest to the road and let the dogs on the street and the cats on the street and the birds in the sky have their way. You have heard about, how lion, how blue bull and all of these animals are living, wondering, where are these fellows gone? Can't you go, I think we should let that happen. Let the wildlife come back in our life. Wildness itself is a reassurance. That's why people go to forest. That's why people go to mountains. Because these are not sculpted spaces. They have rawness in them. They have naturalness in them. So you need wildness and you need wilderness because that nourishes your brain, nourishes your heart, nourishes your spirit. So I think people should take more time to go to such places which are conserved and contribute to conservation of nature. Today, we are doing things that we should not be doing. Rajaji Park is being talked about as a place where Kumbh Mela will be held. Not fair. You can't have Kumbh Mela, crore of people coming to Rajaji Park. No, that's not done. Modify your religious values and beliefs. एक जगह क्यों आना है, अलग-अलग जगह पे मनाओ ना कुंभ को, सारे तालाबों में मनाओ, सारे तालाबों को साफ कर लो देश के. Instead of coming to one place and spoiling and polluting that place, have this in million ponds of the country. एक कुंभ ऐसा बनाओ जो decentralized हो, तो नेचर सारे तालाब साफ हो जाएंगे देश के. We should create new idiom, new ways of looking at our cultural values, redefine, and never use the word that we take care of our elders. Elders take care of you. They have stories. तो अपनी language को भी ध्यान दें हम लोग कैसी भाषा इस्तेमाल करते हैं. We should look at our words, look at our phrases, and be more kind, be more creative, be more compassionate, be more collaborative.
Thank you. Those are some beautiful thoughts, and I believe that not just me, but a lot of our participants will leave inspired to make that difference and continue changing and adopting the kind of lifestyle that you advocated, going local, supporting local artisans, promoting them, being sustainable, and giving the ecology a break every once in a while. So these are some changes that we're making in our personal lives. And with the Honeybee Network, a lot of our participants who are currently in the space of MSME, NGOs, have a lot of learnings to glean from this conversation today. So once again, I'd like to thank you so much, Professor, for taking the time out and joining us today.
I would like to thank and all the people whose questions I couldn't answer. I will respond to them. Our partner Seva from Madurai is here, and there are many other people who are here. Nadeem from South Korea is here, and many other friends from Jammu Kashmir are here. I would like to tell all of them that what we are doing is meaningful, and there are more people willing to join hands. Let us incorporate them. Let us bring dignity and to development process. Let us bring grace. Let us bring gratefulness that we are obliged by listening and learning from people. And that is the true value of what Gandhiji said and what Honeybee Network believes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, friends. You can always get back to me, anilg@gyan.org, anilg@gyan.org, GIAN.org, or anilgb@gmail.com. Thank you so much.